What's up, everyone? My name is Connor. I'm making this video post after doing this actual challenge, but I just wanted to make it to go over some of the ground rules and how it all works out. It's a challenge that involves both lifting and drinking, two of my favorite things. Calling it the Dirtbag Deadlift Challenge because you got to be a dirtbag, but you got to be able to deadlift a decent amount, I'd say. So the challenge goes like this. Weigh yourself before you go to the gym to do deadlifts. Take your body weight, times that by 2. So for instance, if you weigh 200 pounds, you're gonna be deadlifting 400 pounds on a standard barbell, standard plates. No sumo deadlift. It has to be a conventional deadlift, no trap bar deadlift, anything like that. Standard conventional barbell, standard conventional deadlift on a standard barbell. For the deadlift, you have to show control after each rep is done on the ground. So some sort of slight pause, can't be like a touch and go. And you have to stand up all the way with it. So hips in line with shoulders, knees locked out, all that good stuff. You are allowed to use straps. And I believe that is all that constitutes the actual standards for the deadlift. You're going to do a max set of deadlifts at 2x body weight. And for each rep you get, that's a point on the board. So for instance, if you get 10 deadlifts, that's 10 points. After the end of your deadlifts, you have 12 hours exactly to drink as many drinks as you can. And that's where the drink portion comes in. The only standards for the drinks are the American standard unit for drinks. So 5% beer, 40% hard liquor. You can combine the drinks, obviously. So if you're drinking some lower ABV drinks or different volume drinks, because some people, you're drinking from a can, 12 ounce, maybe 16 ounce, 20 ounce. Just make sure you tally it all up, know the ABV and the volume, and then you can plug it into one of those drink simulator or drink counters at the end, and it'll give you a rough number. I already know what I drank, I already know what I deadlifted, but that's for the video to explain itself. So that is how it works. Your total score at the end is the total amount of points you got from the deadlift, and then the total amount of points you got for from the drinking. Again, 1 point for the drinking is one standard drink in American units, and then 1 point for the deadlifts is each deadlift. So let's go on with the video. Let's get it rolling. All right, time to weigh in. It is January 30th, 9:08 a.m. We're gonna go onto my scale here. Let's see what we got. And the phone is like half a pound or so. 194.1. 9:08. All right. So I think that means I'm gonna be doing 390 for the double body weight deadlift weight. So we'll see how it goes. All right, everyone, we are into the gym session now. Now, before I wanted to go into the gym to do the double body weight deadlift set, I wanted to get in an actual workout. So I did actually do about 3 working sets of squats beforehand that I'm not showing. And then I did 4 working sets of some heavy deadlift, triples, doubles, and singles. All around that 8 to 9 RPE, except for that one. That's a single at 240 kilos, 529 pounds. Definitely felt very heavy. Then I finished it off with a double there that was also pretty heavy. But yeah, felt good. Just wanted to get something in before the set. Did that affect how many reps I could get? Who knows? Who cares, really? I was just, sometimes I feel better almost doing more work before I go do a big high rep set on something else. Like if you work up to a heavy 1 rep or double and then go do something that's way lighter, I think it's psychologically maybe tricks your brain into thinking it's way lighter and you can kind of breeze through it rather than just starting sort of cold going into a big deadlift set. So there you go. I wasn't even counting reps here just because, it's such a huge set. I didn't really know what I was aiming for. Probably 12 or over. Had the 325 kilos on each side of the bar, then a 5 pound and 2.5 pound plate, totaling up to 390. For these big, long sets, just kind of take your time in between each rep. You are allowed to roll the bar just because it's such a long set. I do a slight roll there, almost more as a rhythmic thing, just so I can kind of keep in pace with my own effort. I am using straps. I think definitely use straps because any deadlift set that goes over like 10 reps, I'd say the limiting factor would for sure be your forearm strength. And yeah, just kept moving here. Didn't know where. I think that's where I'm like, yep, that's it. Maybe could have done 1 or 2 more reps, but felt good. Got up to 16 reps on the deadlift at 2x body weight, 390 pounds. Ended at 10:56 a.m. All right, just finished the max set of deadlifts, double body weight. Got 16, I'm pretty sure. It's at 390. Ended at 10:56. So we have till 10:56 p.m. to get in as many drinks as we can. Let's see if we can hit 30. So maybe 14 drinks, we'll see. So I'm back home from the gym. It is now 11:52, about an hour later. Had to drive back home, take a shower, freshen up, all of that good stuff. Deadlift went pretty well. 16 reps. If I was really in the right mindset, maybe 1 or 2 more reps, maybe not. It's hard to tell on those big rep sets. Definitely some cardiovascular stuff going on there too. Anytime you get 10 reps or more on a deadlift set, your heart rate gets pretty jacked up. Hamstrings on fire, everything on fire really by the end of that. So 16 points on the board to start out. Let's go to our first bar. There's a deep freeze right now in the Washington, D.C. area all the way through the weekend. So got to bundle up. Maybe the cold will sober me up. Let's see. All right, we are coming up to our first bar, which is Ireland's Four Courts here in Courthouse, Arlington, Virginia. Let's go get a pint. All right, and we're starting off with our first pint of plain. Oh, daddy. Yeah, I love Guinness. I think it's one of the best beers out there. Who doesn't love it? Well, I guess people who don't drink. But I always find these guys are super easy to drink. We got a 20-ounce Imperial pint glass here with the Guinness. So I already sank the first one in pretty easy. I'm not trying to move through these super fast, but I am sucking them down in 2 or 3 gulps each time. Not used to really day drinking. This is on a Friday. Didn't have to work today or the day after, luckily. So that's kind of the reason I did it. Also, there's not many people in the pub. Maybe 5 or 6 other people were there. So quick service, in and out. That was the third one, finishing it up there. Going down nice and easy. I am showing the time after each time I drink most of the times, just so there's not any doubt of me, drinking on some other day or just manipulating the footage. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. I don't really give a shit. I know what I did. I know what I drank. There's 4 drinks there. The thing with the pints with Guinness too is that some bars, especially in the States, I don't think they do this in Europe or the UK, they'll serve you a pint in either the 16-ounce or the 20-ounce. In my opinion, Guinness does need to be served in that Imperial pint size, that 20-ounce. Just that's the sort of vibe of the drink. 16-ouncers, as you will see here soon, they go down super duper quick. Got a little foam on the schnoz there. But yeah, I think I was at this bar for an hour, maybe a little over an hour. And yeah, I was sucking them back. Finished off 6 Imperial pints of Guinness. On to the next place. Went down pretty smooth. All right, second stop here. We're at Bottom Line Bar and Grill here in Washington, D.C., Northwest D.C. Been here handful of times. Gonna go grab some drinks, then head on back out. It is extremely cold, so this is one of the only places that opens pretty early on a weekday. All right, so second stop, Bottom Line Bar and Grill in Northwest DC. Like I said, it is one of the earlier bars that opens in DC on a weekday. I believe Four Courts on Fridays opens at 11:30 a.m. and I think this place opens also around 11:30. So for the midday Dirtbag that's around, you know, they still got their Christmas decorations up, gives it that cozy vibe. I like that it's sort of a basement bar. These are Guinnesses in those 16-ounce glasses, dripping all over the place there, polishing them off nice and easy. And this bar was actually pretty packed when I went in there for a midday weekday service, but went through 3 Guinnesses there, 12-ounce. So pretty good. Showing you what Washington, D.C. is looking like at the moment. When I was filming this, we had a huge snow ice storm and then just deep Arctic freeze temps. So everything is basically ice here. Some of the sidewalks have been shoveled, but some have definitely not. I think on this day it was like 15 degrees out or something like that. So very cold, especially if there's a wind, but it does kind of sober you up, being able to walk outside in between places to drink. I'm here in the Eastern Market, Capitol Hill area of Washington, D.C., and we're heading on to our next bar, which you're going to see in a second. Here we are, tune in, Capitol Hill, Eastern Market area of D.C. We're going to go on in. All right, so here we are at Tune In, which is apparently the second oldest liquor license in DC after Prohibition. And this place opens up real early at 8 a.m. every day. And I think they stay open till 3 a.m. most days as well, 7 days a week. Drink I chose to drink here is Yangling. Don't even know really why I chose Yangling. No real reason. I like Yingling, but I don't actually drink it that much. But it's one of those things when you go to a bar sometimes and you choose one drink and then they'll just say another and you say sure. So that's probably why I just kept drinking these. I think that's 2 down there, 2 Yanglings, if I'm counting correctly here. And I keep trying to get my watch to show the time, but it's one of those Face ID watches. It keeps disappearing every time I show it. You can tell here I'm definitely starting to get the feeling of getting sauced up a bit, and my hair is getting a little cranked back. That usually starts to happen when I get a little toasted. Face getting a little more red, a little more color to it. I don't know what I'm even talking to the camera about there with the Yangling, but I am sort of taking my time here too. I think I was at this bar for maybe an hour or so, a little longer. So I have been drinking a lot very quickly. Mind you, all I had eaten before that day, I usually work out completely fasted, except for some coffee, maybe a banana. Sometimes this day, all I had was a banana, coffee, and I had a little basket of fries at Four Courts. So I was definitely feeling it. Needed to get a burger, so I went and got a burger at Tune In just to put something in my stomach as I keep dripping and making myself look completely messy with how much I'm dripping around there with that Yangling. But yeah, finish those off. So if my math was right, that was 5 Yanglings in. Then I went back to where I live in Arlington, Virginia at the Liberty Tavern, which they have a Liberty Tavern brown ale, I believe, which I didn't know how much ABV was in this, but I just counted it as a Yangling because it basically tastes like very close to a Yangling. So I'm assuming around that 4.5%, 5%. And here is when I was definitely feeling it. I think upon drinking the first half of that beer, I was starting to feel kind of sick. I got a pizza and some fries that I was sharing with my girlfriend here. But yeah, I think all the drinking in such a short period of time, because I think it's only been like 4 or 5 hours since I started this challenge with not much food, definitely caught up to me. So finished that off, went back home. So yeah, back home now, pouring some of the next round of drinks. A lot of foam, whoa mama. On to the Modelo's. I actually took about an hour, hour and a half from not drinking at all. maybe a little longer, because I'm like, maybe I'm just done with this challenge. But the only thing I had in my fridge were 3 cans of Modelo's. So I'm like, all right, we still are in that 12-hour time period of what I've set up for this dumbass challenge. So I'm gonna finish it. And here we go. Just take these cans and drain them into this glass. And I'm like, I will end up finishing this. I'm probably rambling about some stupid shit here. Who knows? Polishing them off one by one, letting the foam sort of settle down, then going back in. I didn't drink any hard liquor for this challenge, which is probably extremely good. This is all beers. But I'm moving through it, and I'm definitely feeling drunk. Also considering didn't really eat much this day. Like I said, a burger, fries, like half a pizza up to this point. That's basically what I'd eaten, along with all these beers. Goddamn, putting them away. If I do another challenge like this again, I would make sure to just try to eat more. It will make you drink more, and you just won't feel as sick and shitty, I think. So that's me finishing off some more of that Modelo. These were definitely taking me a while to get through, but you can tell I'm struggling a little bit, or quite a bit. I think this is the last can I'm opening here, putting them in. Typically, if I'm out at like a party or something, I do drink Modelo's as my choice. Just, they're cheaper, but they go down easy, nice and crisp. Love a good Modelo, and I love a Modelo Negra, actually. Those are probably even more appetizing to me. Put the old glasses on because I was starting to lose vision from how much alcohol I'd consumed on such a low appetite. Polishing off the last drink of the night here. I went and passed out after this for a total of 21 standard American drinks, 21 points on the drink side, 16 on the deadlift. That is 37 points for the deadlift Dirtbag challenge. Try it out for yourself if you also want to be a piece of shit. Bye-bye.